Hi, it's Trisha, Knitting Lady, and this is about the fourth time I'm doing this video. I'm just talking too much. I don't like to make my videos too long. You know, I don't want to bore people. At the end of the video, you'll see clips of my trip to a local cemetery that is not far from where I live. It's called Pilgrim's Rest. It's founded in 1908. I did a little research on it. And according to one article I found, they usually have someone there around Halloween that will give talks on the old cemetery because they say it's haunted. So I have to look. I don't know if they've done it recently, but next Halloween I'm going to have to look. I didn't know about that. This is a cowl I'm working on. I'm almost done. It's a pattern by Christine Amda. In fact, I didn't put the ends in. Let me take my glasses off. I think it's going to be tight. Maybe not. Let me see. Oh. There we go. See, it's not too bad. I was trying to think of different things to make. Ooh, there goes my hair. Not that it's neat to begin with. But to cover my neck. My neck is really starting to bother me. So if anybody has any ideas, I guess I could do small scarves. I do have shawls that I hardly wear. I don't know. I just don't know. The other night, getting back to the cemeteries. When I lived in New Jersey, I used to walk in the Holy Cross Cemetery in North Arlington, which was the next town over from where I lived. It was a Catholic cemetery. My parents are buried there. A lot of people I knew, they had, relatives buried there. That was found in 1915, and it's 208 acres. In fact, my brother, I think he signed up, or he paid to be put in the mausoleum when he goes, because he still lives in Kearney, which is the next town over. I have other plans, but I won't get into that. So I just, like I said, I used to walk there all the time to get in my miles when I was training for the marathon, because you didn't train for a marathon in a couple months. You usually did something a year prior, really, just to get yourself in condition. This is 26 miles. But I haven't done a marathon in a while. I could probably still do one, though. My time would be lousy, but my time was never that good to begin with, because I don't run them, I race walk them. Different story. So the other night, here I am, trying to get ready for Christmas. I think I'm pretty much ready. My son's coming down. But I went to bed a little later, and around midnight, the message on Facebook goes off. I'm like, who is this? This is almost midnight. It was someone I had deleted 5 years ago as one of my Facebook friends. And I didn't realize they could still contact you by messenger. What did I do? I deleted her, and I blocked her. There's a reason why I deleted her over 5 years ago. She was still friendly with my ex, and I don't want him to know where I am. I almost had to file a restraining order against him. And I could just hear her now. Oh, it's been so long, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't want to hear it. Plus, like I said, I don't follow the formula. I grew up, I was in high school in the 60s. Well, I graduated in 1970. But the thing back then, it was very limited for women. They only expected you to go to college, then get a job if you went to college, and that wasn't even expected. To become a teacher or a nurse or a secretary, get married, take care of your husband and children, and that was it. Well, I got married young, divorced young. I raised my son pretty much as a single parent, so I didn't follow the formula. And I'm single, which is, some people think it's horrible. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? You're single. This is why I got into comedy. You had to make fun of this stuff, else it would drive you crazy. It's almost like you almost got to explain your inadequacies. Why are you single? You ever think because I want to be? And all I would hear from her, now she's had a marriage that lasts all these years. They met in high school. They've been married all these years. I went to college with her as well. It's great. Happy for her. But I don't want to hear what's wrong with me, because it didn't happen to me. Plus she has all these grandchildren. I don't want to hear all that either. My son hasn't married. Maybe he will one day. Maybe he won't. He's dating someone now. I don't know what's going to happen. But she's almost as old as he is. He's in his early 40s. Will they get married and have children? Who knows? I'm not going to get upset about it if I don't have grandchildren. Maybe it's not meant to be. But don't put me down. Like, what's wrong with you? You don't have grandchildren. Boy, double whammy, right? Oh my God, you're single. And your son's single. And no grandchildren. Get away from me. You're going to put me down. We're all supposed to accept each other. So, like, no one is supposed to be single. You know, it's like we must account for not having a partner. And having no grandchildren is not the end of the world. Like I said, it would be nice, but what can I do? You know, when I wave a magic wand and grandchildren will appear. Ooh, excuse me. Not going to happen. And I don't know if any of you feel that way out there. You know, if you don't have children, or you think something's wrong with your single girlfriends or boyfriends. Like, what's wrong with them? Why would you choose to be single? Well, so I'm going to go with this channel, I'm going to go in different directions. I'm going to bring this stuff up. I want to hear people's viewpoints. And some of it I'm going to make fun of. So be prepared. Because people are crazy. You know, they look for ways not to like you. Well, it's not that hard not to like me. Like one person said to me, how could anybody not like you? Well, there are plenty of people who don't. I don't know. So I have a question for you. Now this is going on another subject. Who inspired Oscar the Grouch? Now I thought the answer to that was my brother. Because my brother can be a grouch, trust me. He's a little bit like my father. They're very, my father's gone, but I mean, they're very opinionated and had tempers. And my brother is definitely opinionated and has a temper. But the choices were a rude waiter, a bus driver, a school teacher, or a cab driver. Now, believe it or not, there's two answers to this. Oscar's famous for his love of trash and noise. A rude waiter in New York inspired Oscar the Grouch. He worked for Oscar's Salt of the Sea, which was a restaurant in New York. I never heard of it, but it was years ago. His voice, though, was inspired by a cab driver, opinionated, with a lot of cursing. Now, that's where my brother comes in. So, I always liked Oscar the Grouch. Of course, my favorite Muppet was always Animal, the drummer. Because he was inspired by Keith Moon and The Who. And I always liked The Who. And Keith Moon was really out there. So that's about it. I hope everybody's getting ready. I'm still trying to find a restaurant. I made arrangements for one restaurant for us to go to, but the first opening he had was 8:45 p.m. So I don't know if that's going to be too late for my son. Probably not, but it might be too late for me. I have to see what else is open, but he told me what he wanted. He didn't want to eat Chinese, so this is more steaks and other food like that. So take care, everybody. I hope you enjoy the cemetery. Now, this one is really well kept. I see the date of birth. Let me get a little closer, see if I can see the date of death. Hi, it's Trisha Nade Lady. I don't know if you can hear me. I decided to take a walk, and this old graveyard is close to my house or my apartment, and you probably can't read this, but this person was born 1887, died 1930. Mother. I love old graveyards. So much history in them. Okay, Charles died in 2012. Cecilia's still going strong. Interesting. Can't read this one at all, but it's got artificial flowers by it. Uh-oh, it's a full moon. Don't howl at the moon. Unless you want to.